Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, so a lot of you have been requesting how I do my house designs. So first off, I take my iPad as I did here. Then I look for something I want to build, and apparently right now I was feeling like doing a desert house. And I do like this one, so I take this picture as like an inspiration picture. I don't always have to do it. I sometimes use pictures as inspiration, sometimes I just draw from my head. Then I open an app called GoodNotes and I just try and drag the image in there. I was struggling just a little bit. Then I close my browser and I go into GoodNotes and I just resize the image a little bit so I can see what I want to build. As I said, I don't always use a picture as inspiration. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. And I just start drawing. So I use squared paper because with the squared paper, I can easily see the grid. So I use the squares as the grid. So one square is like 1 by 1. And it's easy for me to just draw that out and go ahead and do that. And there you can also see my very bad handwriting. And then right here, I selected a tool that lets me draw straight lines because I cannot draw straight lines for my life. Yes, I know I'm a very bad drawer. And the little dots right next to it are like the amount of squares I need for the walls. I'm actually counting them. So I thought it was 10. I rewrote it so it was 12. I needed 12 pieces of wall to go there. So the line is the wall. And then the little dots are just me counting the amount of walls I need. Then the 6 is, of course, the 6 pieces of walls I need. Then the dotted line I'm drawing right now is just the outside roof, like the overhanging roof I wanted to have. So I definitely wanted to like differentiate that from the original walls. And now I'm just like kind of removing and redoing stuff. I used to do that like before I drew houses out, and I did it just from my head and I went straight into Bloxburg and recorded. I used to remove a lot more and people were kind of angry about that sometimes, which I understand, of course, because if you're copying a build, then it can be hard to like follow when you remove everything. So I tend to draw everything by forehand and then go to Bloxburg and build there. Of course, I changed some things in Bloxburg from time to time, but I mean, it's less than I used to do it. And then right here, I'm just drawing the inside walls. We have a kitchen going on here, and the 4 little circles are the stove. Then the sink is that little circle with another little circle inside it. I just use these things to like make reference for myself. The little lines in the walls are just the doors I want to make. And then over here we have a little sofa. I always draw them like that, I don't know why. And the table is that rectangle thing with the crosses, so I use crosses as tables. It's an easy way to do it for me. And then right now I'm just creating the bedrooms and the bathroom, and I'm just adding doors in that tiny hallway. And I was realizing that maybe there's a lot of doors in that really tiny hallway, but I was like, okay, I'm not gonna keep that, or am I gonna keep that? Then the shower representation, yes, that's a little circle with all the lines in it that represents water for some reason. The toilet is that half circle with the dot in it, and then the sink is that half rectangle thing with the little line in it as well. And for the beds, I just draw something like that. For the carpets as well, just like something that's recognizable for me so I can easily do that. So that little rectangle on the bottom is actually a desk because it has a little cross, which means there's a chair there. So that's obvious for me. That means that there is gonna be a little desk there. And then when I'm like kind of happy with my design, I go to Bloxburg and I just start building. So I hit the record button. Of course I do, because I used to forget sometimes. Now I do it less, but like when you're, I don't know, you're sometimes building and you're like, oh, I forgot to hit the record, but let's start over again. No problem. I once tried to do it like when I undid it so I could record it backwards, but that didn't work out at all. So I didn't do that. Sometimes I even remove my house because I like did enough on it and I didn't record, and I was like, I'm not gonna redo that, you guys. I'm gonna remove this. So now I'm just drawing the shapes I had going on, and I did make a little mistake, so you're gonna see me fix it up. As I said, I try not to remove as much in Bloxburg, but sometimes I make a mistake, and right now I wasn't as concentrated I might seem out of breath even today because I'm kind of having a cold, so I'm dealing with that. And that kind of takes my concentration away, so I was just doing things, I don't know. I was kind of confused at some points. So right now I'm just drawing the outside shape of the house, and I try to like make it as good as possible from the drawing. I know not everything is in the drawing, but I sometimes have more ideas in my head of what I want. The hardest thing for me is actually painting because I'm kind of having a hard time picking colors, but I don't want to do everything white because I hate that. Like some people paint everything white and then they call it aesthetic, but aesthetic isn't even a style. Like it's something that's been created because some people tend to just paint everything white. I don't want to do that because if I imagine like an everything white house, I just think of a doctor's office or I don't know, a dentist, something people rather not go to. Like some people like everything white and I understand that, but I will not do that. And then right here, I go to the second floor to start building a roof. Well, I forgot to do these two walls here. But to do my roof, I tend to use floor instead of like that flat roof. Because the flat roof often like fights with the walls and such, and sometimes it goes through the floor, and I don't really like that. And also just the floor is just a little bit cheaper to use as a roof. So if you have the floor pass or the multiple floors, I guess it's called, you can definitely just use a floor as your roof. I mean, it's fine using that. And now we're getting closer and closer to the point where I realized that I made a huge mistake, and I didn't build my walls wide enough, so I was just doing the kitchen and such, and I was like, okay, this isn't right. Didn't I have more space to do that? I mean, I did kind of draw it out differently, but I guess I'm correct here. But then I was like, okay, should I change it? Should I not change it? Will people notice if I do it? But yeah, I ended up changing it. But anyways, I will start some music so you can continue see me building without having me talk over it. And then here you have it, the box design I drew. I kind of ended up changing a lot, But that was a design I drew from my iPad and I just copied that over. That was it for today, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button and please subscribe.